I'm in it's Jena. It's spelled Jena, Germany.
Wow, wonderful. And I believe last week you were in Amsterdam.
Yes. So the week yeah, last weekend we were in Amsterdam, and before that we were in Munich, and we had just come prior to that from Hong Kong.
Wow, wonderful. And how did these experiences, like seeing different cultures, different kinds of people, how did this relate to gratitude, like to how you appreciate life?
Yeah. So I guess uh, prior to us leaving, those trips that opened me up and helped me understand that there was this bigger world outside of the U.S. Obviously, when you see different parts of the world, and you see kind of the lack of abundance that there might be in particular parts of the world, you come back with just a sense of thankfulness of all that we're exposed to in the United States, and the idea that life is pretty crazy when you think about how lucky you get just by being born where you're born, and um, and just that sense of thankfulness of, of growing up with such securities that other countries might not have. So I was exposed to that level of gratitude, but also the relationships that you would get while traveling, that we would carry on. I say we, my wife and I, would carry on for the rest of our lives. In a lot of cases, that we would meet a random couple in the San Blas Islands of Panama that would turn into. Especially now, where you have the social networks that you have, that you can continue on these relationships forever. So just
Mhm.
that sense of just to being open to the goodness of the world. We hear so much in the news and negativity out there of the world is so bad and all these things. But the reality is the world is as safe as it's ever been. If anybody's ever read the Bible, or if you've looked at the history in the last 300-400 years, the world can be an extremely violent place. In today's world, though the media wants to tell us how crazy it is, it's safer now than it's ever been. And so it's taken those little bits and pieces and getting that exposure and seeing new things that you walk away with a sense of gratitude. Like, not only am I lucky to be born where I was, and now I have the opportunities to see other things in the world, but I'm also lucky that I'm in this time, that this time of change where things are as good as they are, not only from a technology standpoint, but from a knowledge standpoint, and that people are nicer to each other now than they probably ever been, even though that some media outlets want to tell us different. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I was actually watching a TED ad. It's an educational animation, and it said something about the Great Wall of China. The fact that a few hundred years ago it was built to to make sure that no one got into China, and it was for defense purposes. And now it's one of the reasons why many people from all around the world go there to visit. And it's such a beautiful perspective, like how much the world has changed in just a few hundred years, and how we changed as relationships between different countries, and the fact that we, regardless of our place in the world, we can go anywhere actually, and pretty easily. And I think it's quite amazing.
Absolutely. And the fact that my wife and I, at a high level on our journey, we started in South America, spent 3.5 months there. Then we spent 4 months in Southern Europe, from Portugal over to Greece and Albania. And then we went down to spent 2 months in India, spent a month in Vietnam, 3 months in South Africa. I mean, just the idea that we've had a chance to do this in only 14 months, to see all these different places and get the exposure we have and meet the people that we have. It's just unbelievable that we're in these times that we can actually do that now. And all along the way, not only communicate with our families, but communicate with others to let them know of all the positivity that's going on in these places. to kind of share that story, to hopefully get other people to do the same. It's just, we're living in such unbelievable times. And I guess the gratefulness I have is that we are at this time. And not only that is because it kind of goes back to our story that my wife and I could kind of take this risk. We were both at the peaks of our careers. We both loved our lives. We loved being around our families and doing all these things. But we had this passion for travel. We had this need to see what's out there in the world. So we took this risk of leaving our jobs. But to be able to have the confidence that we do, to know that, okay, once we do get off the road and we burn through our savings and we take this big risk on what we're doing, then we can actually go back and get jobs. There's times in the world where, I mean, even today still, that people, the thought of not being able to have continuous work or to take this risk, it's just not there. But we have endless opportunities, whether it's online or back in the States, that we can we can bring value to the market and get jobs, that we were willing to take this risk.